What's up, y'all? It's Jimmy coming to you guys with another video. Before we get into the video, as always, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And when you guys hit subscribe, please make sure you guys hit that notification button. So this is going to be another discussion video on some upcoming shoes that are supposed to come out. No release date yet, but I'm thinking the end of 2021, maybe early 2022. And the reason why I say that is I think these shoes are just so far off from actually being released. I think there's a lot more planning that has to go into works before they actually come out, that I don't predict them coming out anytime soon. But the shoes we're going to be talking about is the Air Jordan 1 Travis Highs collab with Fragment. So I'll definitely say that this is probably going to be one of the most hyped shoes to come out in quite a while. I feel like everyone says it with every release, right? But I'm thinking back, I don't want to say it was like the Dior's, everyone was like talking about the Dior's and how expensive they were. But in reality, those shoes weren't very practical, right? Like you had to have the right money to buy those shoes. You had to know the right people. I know a lot of people got really lucky with actually copying them through that Dior raffle, but a lot of people don't have them. So that's why I want to say this shoe is probably going to be the most hype that we've seen in quite some time. I think the reason being, right, like anything Fragment and Nike is typically a hit. I'll say the threes were kind of a miss. Like they definitely are very, I don't know, like I guess they're kind of slept on as opposed to the ones. Of course, those ones is basically a lot of people's grails. And in this day and age, I think it is a little unfair to compare one to threes or threes to ones, just because, the ones are definitely on a wave as opposed to the threes. But Fragment has their Air Jordan 1 that basically goes for, I believe, maybe 3,000 to 4,000, maybe even more, depending on the size and condition. And of course, Travis Scott has this iconic Air Jordan 1, the brown high tops that came out maybe 2 to 3 years, maybe 3 to 4 years ago. I think it's been quite some time now, but those were very revolutionary, and those have definitely been a game changer for a lot of the collabs that Nike is doing now. Clearly, those might not be the most influential, but a lot of the stuff that Nike is rolling out now, you kind of see influence from that shoe. And the one thing I'll say about this shoe and why it also might be very hyped is, even for myself, right, I was never really too sure if Nike was ever going to drop more colors of the Air Jordan 1, whether it be the high top or the low tops, right? Like with the ones being a wave, I would have thought Nike would have done this sooner rather than later, but it seems like they just kind of held off. They let the hype build up. They let that brown colorway really just build its value, becoming more, I don't know, I guess more rare and rare since, there's less DS pairs on the market. But now that pictures have surfaced of the Air Jordan 1 collab between Fragment, Travis Scott, and Nike, I think this will make the price on both of those shoes go up quite a bit. I mean, this is essentially the brainchild of both of those ones combined together. And I gotta say, it's a pretty dope looking shoe. I was a little bit skeptical at first when I heard about it, but the more I see pictures of the shoes, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I think they're pretty fire. I'm not gonna say it's the shoe of the year. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest shoe ever, but it's not an ugly shoe, right? Definitely the hype adds to some degree to it, of course, but the shoe itself is a good looking pair of ones. And now getting into the detailed image of the shoes, of course, I'll post what I'm looking at somewhere on the left or right side of the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. But scrolling down, we are in sneakerbardetroit.com. This is an up close look with the Travis Scott X Fragment X Jordan 1 High OG collab. I'm just looking at that picture right there. I don't know if this is an actual, I'm gonna assume that this is an actual picture of the shoes, that they're not a custom or anything like that, and this is what the shoes are gonna look like. But that picture right there, I'm gonna tell you guys that these are absolutely crazy. And when I say crazy in the sense, I know it's just another Air Jordan 1, I know it's just a backward swoosh, but that's the thing, right? We had never seen an Air Jordan 1 with basically any type of different material, swoosh placement until now, or until the Travis Scott's release. So to see a different colorway of that, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, pretty stoked. But going on down, let's look at some more pictures. There is no release date yet, but they're saying fall 21 at select retailers. I'm gonna predict that these are gonna be pretty damn hard to cop. You're considering how limited shoes are and how everyone is buying shoes to resell. I picture these being extremely difficult to get. Retail on these is $175, and I'm gonna say that these are probably gonna be maybe in that I think 1,000 is a little low. I'm gonna say 1,500 to 2,000 resell off the bat, just because, like I said, you know, the sneaker game is a lot different now than even when the brown pair came out. It's a lot more commercialized, more people are into it now. Definitely a different ballpark, so I think the price on these is going to be pretty high. But going on down, you have more pictures of the shoes. The one thing I say that did throw me off a little is I felt that there was a little bit too much white on the shoe. Like, just looking at the shoe itself, it seems like there is a strange amount of white, but after looking at the pictures a little bit more and more, I mean, it just makes sense for some reason. I mean, you guys can see the tongue right there. It says Fragment Design. Nothing crazy, right? But that's definitely a play off of how they branded the original Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 highs, where I think right there it said Cactus Jack. So cool to see that they're putting Fragment Design and, you know, just throwing in those little touches of detail where it was on the original. And one thing to point out before we scroll in even more is I love the sail on the midsole. I mean, you guys can see right there, really clean, really beautiful. I think if they would have chosen to do like just a normal white midsole, I think it wouldn't have looked terrible, but then at that point it would have been way too much white. That sail midsole kind of gives you a break from that white before you go to that blue outsole. I mean, just a really clean look. And then going on down, the part that really sold me about this shoe is this right here. I know it's basically just a brand stamp, a brand seal, but that right there, in my opinion, just looks so goddamn clean. To have like the Cactus Jack face on the left shoe, and on the right side you have the Fragment lightning bolts. I think that's just so crazy, so clean. Clearly nothing absolutely too crazy, right? At the end of the day, it is just another brand on a shoe. But I mean, I could picture all those on-foot videos, all those on-foot pictures of people taking pictures of the back of the shoe and people going like, damn, that is a clean shot. And then scrolling on down, you have a comparison between the OG brown pair and then the new pair that is supposed to come out. Like I said, really dope. I'm glad that they chose this color blocking, because I myself, I probably wouldn't have chosen so much white. But like I said, the more I look at it, I'm not gonna hate on it, you know? I think with this shoe, it's weird because, you know, some people might have expected more from Nike. Travis Scott Fragment, you know, it seems like they went almost like the safe route. They chose that classic Travis 1 silhouette, they chose that classic Fragment, and then they chose that classic Fragment blue. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's still a dope shoe. Do I think it's going to be worth that resale? I myself, I would never pay that type of resale, but you know, if you have the money and you really want the shoes. But scrolling down even more, there is more detailed pictures of the shoes, and these pictures themselves actually look pretty crazy as well. Just these really clean shots. I'll say this shot right here makes the shoes look a little weird, but this right here might be custom if they don't show that Fragment tag. No, I think it's actual pictures of the shoes. Yep, and it has that stamp in the back, so I'm gonna guess that these are the actual shoes and it's not a custom, but really clean. I mean, I don't know, there's just something about the shoe. I could picture a bunch of outfits, really clean outfits to pair with them. But you guys can see right there, more pictures scrolling down, and even more pictures as you scroll down. I'll say the quality on these looks pretty legit. The leather looks like your pretty typical Air Jordan 1 leather, but I'll say it seems like it has a good amount of plush to it and it looks decently tumbled. You guys can see the back stamps at an even closer look right there. And this was the on-foot look that Travis had. So if you guys can see, I guess that was just a prototype where the toe box was white. I think that actually looks maybe even a little, just because there's a little bit less of that blue and it's just on the back. But nonetheless, I think this version right here isn't too bad. You know, I'm pretty sure people will do customs on the shoe to maybe match those. But yeah, those are all the images we have of the Air Jordan 1 Travis Scott and Fragment collab. These are really dope. Do I think they're going to be worth the resale? I mean, that's up for y'all to decide, right? Personally, for myself, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and say no. The one thing that I am not necessarily worried about, but with this shoe, it's going to be such a sought after shoe that there's going to be so many fakes out there. I believe the most fakes ever for a pair of shoes is the brown pair, the Air Jordan 1 Travis highs. That brown pair literally has fakes everywhere left and right. Like, it's one of those shoes where when you see someone wear it, you almost always assume they're fake. And that's how it kind of was with the Red Octobers. When you saw someone wear the Red Octobers, you barely ever assumed that they were real just because of how many fakes there were. And nonetheless, I think these shoes will definitely be a victim of the replica market. And at the end of the day, if that's you and that's what you want to buy, I'm not going to knock you, but I'm more so talking about the people that are buying these reps and trying to sell them as real shoes. You know, that's something like, you know, you should never try to finesse anyone out of their money. I think that's not cool. But that's gonna wrap up the discussion videos. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this shoe right here, Do you guys think this is going to be shoe of the year? I'm pretty sure it is going to be for a lot of people, especially maybe the people that, you know, just geared towards Air Jordan 1s and Dunks. You know, it's definitely going to be one of those shoes that's just so crazy hype that people, when they get them in hand, you're just going to almost be starstruck. But I myself, I'm definitely excited to see these shoes come out. Hopefully we can all get up here for retail and eat. You know, I'd love to do a review on them, show you guys, but that's going to be something for future Jimmy to worry about. But this is going to wrap up the video, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.